Daddy Freeze, please give me a minute. 1998, I was already in JSS3. I was in JSS 1998.
Hey, 1998, you were in GSS3. You don't go.
So what did you do? You were eating from your dance.
Daddy Freeze, let me help you. 1998, when Abacha was head of state.
Somebody wants to come. I want to bring one guy who is 49 years old.
Daddy Freeze,
please, my brother, if you are the one that said you are 49 years old, please come back. I need somebody who is between 45 and 55.
Daddy Freeze,
best way experience Abacha.
Daddy Freeze,
of course.
Daddy Freeze, in that JSS street that I was in, I had seen Abacha with my 2 eyes.
Baba, no.
Not by seeing Abacha now, John.
Leave that. See, if you've seen Abacha, I have met John. I have met Abacha one-on-one. I have met Abiola one-on-one. See, wait now. No, you will talk. You will talk. No, I promise you, John. I promise you will talk. If that one, even I interviewed Bashir Tofa and Abiola. I asked them questions at the Hilton. So
I want to ask.
Forget that one.
I want to ask the Freeze some questions. As of that time when Abacha was president, head of state, my dad had 5 children in secondary school. 5. No, 4 in secondary school. 1 was still in primary school. 4. My dad would drop us off at school on the first day of school. As a civil servant, dip his hands in his back pocket and pay our school fees at the gate. Because if you don't pay your school fees, they don't let you into school. 5 children. 4 children. That the Freeze, you know if you try them now to dip your hand for your back pocket, pay school fees for your 4 children.
So are you saying there's more corruption now than Abacha's time?
I'm getting
John, your logic doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Can you
let him finish? Let him finish.
Can you allow me finish being senseless?
Let him finish.
Allow John.
Can you allow me finish being senseless, please?
Always remember that John is our brother.
What you use to measure the standard of living is quality of life.
Quality of life under Abacha, no better.
That is under Abacha, a civil servant can buy a Peugeot 504 brand new.
No, not under Abacha. Under Shehu Shagari.
Is a lie.
Not under Abacha.
How much was best line then? How much was best line?
Best line was about 1 point something, 2 point something million.
But you guys, it's like apples and oranges. There are so many reasons. See, the way we are comparing, guys, you guys are comparing. Wait, you guys are comparing the night, bro. You guys are comparing the 90s and 2005. The yardsticks are too many. You can't. It's not just one thing that made them different. So you are looking at Abacha slash.
Under Abacha, people were cooking with sawdust. You don't remember Abacha's stove?
Daddy Freeze.
Smelling fuel.
Daddy Freeze.
No, it was also bad then.
Daddy Freeze, under Abacha, the naira remains stable. For all
that's why I said you can't say Abacha is 100% bad.
I missed
those were different times
of the country. I missed all our sanctions as a country.
But it was because of the oil boom, right?
Because of the oil boom. No, it wasn't because of the oil boom. What was our production then?
No, we've always had oil before Abacha. The oil boom. We've had oil boom. That was years ago.
To talk. There was one guy because everybody they type I don't see the guy again.
Okoko.
Now let's look at education.
Okoko,
bro, the guy is there.
All right, sell it. Press X so I go bring them.
Okay.
Come live.
John, wait, let him bring the person there. You continue what you're saying.
But
the military,
guys, let's wrap this up in 10 minutes max, so that
the military
can talk about
the military did a lot better in education than these mammals we have in.
Baba, my mother has been in education for 45 years.
Yes.
Yeah, it be like say John no sabi wetin happen during Abacha.
Baba,
John, you don't understand. You see, when Abacha was in power, I was in Abuja when he died. Michael Kanu was the one he was funding to do youth earnestly asked for Abacha. I was against it. We were the ones. We were the guys on the street. We were the guys on the street in Abacha, in Abuja.
1 million man match. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. We were the one against it. We were getting arrested daily. Listen to me,
Tear
bro.
gas for my face.
My
Tear
brother,
gas.
you know, yeah, not be only tear gas alone. You see, the suffering where they under Abacha, you know, Sabi. You know what they call sawdust? Sawdust. Now the thing where we they carry do Abacha stove. Where we everybody remember where a Tyson line because
Bro,
I went to Mayflower University.
I was still
When we
telling,
went to go march, we went
brother,
to
I
go
was
march.
still telling that the freeze. My elder brother was arrested by Abacha.
This guy
He
don't
was
understand.
held by Gani Fire-me.
Abacha
can I
is the
It
worst
wasn't fun
president
at all.
Nigeria has ever had. Believe
See,
me when I
this
tell you.
conversation that we are having now, we
Nigeria
couldn't have
single
had it during the time of
Abacha
Babangida.
single-handedly accused Ken
This
Saro-Wiwa. Ken
conversation,
Saro-Wiwa was
see,
arrested,
I can stand
did
here
a
and say
kangaroo court,
I don't like
and
them.
guess what? The
They don't
Pope,
burn me, make
the
I say I don't like
president, United
Abacha.
States
They
president,
don't carry
they
me.
were asking him not to kill him. Abacha killed him overnight. All of a
So
sudden,
he
Abacha
he
is
fired, he
Abacha, you know,
fired.
Abacha no be person where you go to talk say.
Oga, please. Ken Saro-Wiwa, I will say this openly, and anybody can say anything wants to say. Ken Saro-Wiwa committed an act of treason, and
Oh Lord.
felonies are punishable by
If
only
it
one
is
thing.
street smart situation, then everybody is guilty then.
Hold on. This the way Nnamdi Kanu do. Imagine saying Abacha.
Thank you. You go down there.
You
You go down finish him.
Daddy Freeze.
You go down finish him.
They would have been past tense.
You go down finish him.
Daddy Freeze. Let me tell you guys something. You guys are only talking about human rights abuses. There is more human rights. Excuse me, sir, please. There's more human rights abuse now than doing that. Daddy Freeze, let me finish being foolish.
Abacha, they're not gonna see you again.
It be like say you don't sabi. You don't sabi what Abacha did.
Let me finish. Let me finish being foolish. People should stop talking out of their emotions because Abacha was a military dictator. Imagine you having a civilian president that does not allow other political parties hold their political meetings. Imagine having a president that goes to go and shut down PDP secretariat so that PDP will not hold their party. What kind of human rights violation is that?
Okay,
come down.
Let me tell you something. You say I'm not going to go to bed. I'm not going to go to bed for Tinubu for big beef. Sincerely, I'm not going to.
I want to
But
bow out so that somebody else can come in. It's been a pleasure. Bye.
Zumorito,
I'm bringing
you. Zumorito, prepare. Zumorito.
Bro, I did watch from background, okay?
Victor, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Victor.
No worries.
Bro, see, a military dictator have their rules and regulation. Like you see all those kragawe they do. It's part of dictatorship. We're talking about what is part of democracy. You're telling me that an administration that stops other people from protesting peacefully, an administration that stops other political parties from holding their meetings, from even existing, and you call me that is not worse than a military dictatorship?
Okay. Now, you see, the mistake you are making is you are conflicting the fact that anybody that said Abacha is worse than Tinubu, you think they support Tinubu. I'm never a Tinubu supporter. Believe me. Let me tell you one thing. You see, I'm not a Tinubu supporter, but guess what? Listen, my brother. Please listen. You see, there are so many things this administration could have done that I'm disappointed in. Believe me. No, there are so many. But one thing I can tell you is comparing Abacha that we know to Tinubu I want to watch my word because I don't want to be insulted. But you were not there. You were not there, my brother. You were not.
Bro. Let me give you an instance with banditry during Abacha's regime. During Abacha's regime, you see this banditry that you guys see, it started during Abacha's regime. Then they started with Bauchi,
Zumorito, join the live. Zumorito,
part of Mubi between Borno and Adamawa. How they were operating not as they were operating as a more organized way of armed robbery. Then those bandits will come out in 60s on horsebacks, divide themselves 20 will be here, 20 will be here. After like a kilometer, another 20. After like another kilometer, another 20. If the first 20 stops you when you're driving, they target mostly luxurious buses in the north. Then those luxurious buses that carry Igbo traders that carry like 1 million, 1.10 million in Ghana must goes while they're traveling. Then there was no travelers check and all that. when the first 20 stops you and you don't, they'll wave at the driver. If the second 20 sees you, they know that you've passed the first 20. They'll start firing warning shots. The next 20, they know that you passed the first 2. They'll open fire at you. When it got to Abacha said that there is no way this will happen without the consent of the community. He tasked the brigade commanders of those brigades, go to those communities, have a conversation with them, and fish out who those bandits are. They go hunting, they go fishing, they go hunting, they go to the woods. They should have. They can't tell me they don't see where 60 people settle. And wait now, let me land. And the community said that they didn't know. Abacha gave his supreme order. That means the community are the ones doing it. Go and wipe out that community. That is how it decisively that deals.
And you think a civilian government can do that? An elected, democratically elected president can do that.
Oga, if you want to wipe out banditry in Nigeria as a civilian,
you don't wipe out. You're going to be wiping out communities
if you want to wipe out banditry.
What kind of sense does that make? Does that make sense to you, John? Come on now.
I'm not finished. The communities that they wipe out are not communities. I'm telling you that this administration, the past and the present, lacks the capacity.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Nigerians.
I totally agree with you. You see, in that we agree.
Banditry right now. When Abacha was head of state, when those banditry persisted, he secured our borders. That was why most military infantry brigades were moved to the bordering towns of Nigeria. That is how to stop it. Secure your borders. Make sure there's no mass exodus of people into your borders. Like the Kazakh prison.
How do you think you secure borders?
Move infantry brigades to the borders.
My brother. I'm in America.
Infantry brigades to the borders.
Listen, my brother. America doesn't have as much borderland mass between them and Mexico as much as Nigeria has. But guess what? We're still fighting it hard to secure our own border. And you think Nigeria? Hold on, my brother. Hold on, please. You think Nigeria is going to? Not that they can't do it. I'm not telling you that they can do it. I can tell you the whole problem is corruption.
I send you request now.
You see, when the president is corrupt, when the head is corrupt, there's nothing the body can do. You see, when when these people get disbursed, their budget is disbursed to them, they embezzle majority of it. So it's important for you to understand that it's not just about or giving order or giving directive to go wipe out communities, because you can't do that as a civilian government. I'm a former. Listen, my brother. I'm a Navy sailor here in the USA. I'm a retired Navy sailor.
America is not our business. Listen about the Federal Republic of
Nigeria. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is when you want to secure a country, there are certain things that has to be put in place.
Like what?
It's not like that. It's security. The internal security itself has to be secure. The internal security has to be solid. If your internal security is porous, there's nothing you can do at the border.
Bro, let me help you. You see the banditry we have in Nigeria. You think these guys are just bandits? No, they're not bandits. They are a jihadist terrorists. Their aim is to get to the sea. If we don't get sense, they get that sense now. Their aim is to get to. They are drifting towards the sea, and the reason why everybody is drifting towards the sea is for control of importation and exportation. Now, those ammunitions they use flow through the porous borders of the north. The flows through the porous, and if you do notice, it became worse after the fall of Libya. And there was a mass exodus of arms from Libya into the Sahel region.
Even from the Sahel, from the Sahel, there's a lot of weapons
into the Sahel region of Nigeria. So if you don't secure those borders, your internal security is useless.
Yeah, but you see, one thing you have to understand about, I'm not saying we can't secure the border. We do right now. We don't have what it takes to secure our border. And I'll explain why. Let me explain why.
Bro,
let me explain why.
You know what it takes?
What do you think it takes?
Let these brigade commanders let these platoon commanders, let these soldiers, give them the authority to take decisions on their own. Let them stop waiting for some dudes, political dudes in
That
Abuja.
is exactly what I agree with you.
For them,
I agree with you. But let me ask you, what do you think the population of the Nigerian military is?
230,000. Please check now.
You wish.
Check now.
Man.
Please, can you check?
My brother, forget about what you're checking, man. I'm telling you, you wish.
Bro, can you check? Bro, I grew up.
Okay, let me ask you this. How many? What do you think is the population of American military?
You cannot compare America and Nigeria, please.
No, I'm just asking. What do you think is the population of the American military?
1.something million.
Okay. What do you think the population of the Marines is? The Marines.
How will I know? I've been Marine before.
Okay. The Marines is less than 100,000. You understand what I'm saying? It's 90,000.
Have you forgotten that the Marines is an elite force? And the Marines
I work with the Marines. My brother, I work with the Marines, man.
But it's an elite force.
Listen.
The Marine is not a component of the army or is not a component of the military. The Marine is an elite force.
No, Marines is the component of the Navy. Listen, I'm a Navy personnel. Listen, you see the pants we are wearing. You see the Navy. You see the pants we are wearing.
Bro.
Let me tell you. Listen now. Just listen, my brother. Just listen. Listen. They are not special forces. They are not Navy SEAL. You understand what I'm saying?
So
but they are ground pounders. Listen, the Marines are they are specially trained to kill. They are ground pounders. They are ground forces. They normally support the army in operations.
Please.
I work with them. I'm a fleet. You know what they call FMN, Fleet Marine Force. What I'm trying to get you to understand is, no matter how Nigeria has so much land mass with the north, with our northern neighbors, that for us to fix it, we need a lot of technological assistance that we don't have. We need a lot of, you need a lot of drones, you need a lot of things that you're going to use to secure that border. You can't think you're going to depend on manpower to secure that large mass. It's not possible, my brother. I'm being honest with you.
You need a lot
Look, America, we're still struggling.
You need a lot of.
We are struggling here.
You need a lot of drones. You need a lot of.
We need a lot of it. So, but when they are stealing more than half of the money, that's why I said corruption is our problem. You see why I said corruption is our problem? The reason why I said corruption is our problem is because they are stealing. They are stealing most of the money that they can use to acquire these technologies.
Do you realize that this?
So,
do you realize
that is why I said corruption?
Do you realize that these bandits have drone command centers?
Of course they do, because they are being supplied. Most of these weapons are being supplied.
If they have drone command centers, what can the military have?
That's why we need money. But they're stealing the money. That's why corruption is our number one enemy, my brother. Corruption. The day we slay corruption is the day we will thrive in Nigeria.
The same thing now.
And the way to slay corruption. For me, the way to slay corruption is this. Let's just go back to the First Republic. Let us go back to the Constitution our founding fathers handed to us, where we have Western region, Eastern region, Northern region, Northwestern region, Southwestern region. There was healthy competition during those days. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what we have is one conglomerate of fools, conglomerate of failure. Let's go back to there was a reason our founding fathers designed that constitution like that. There was a reason. Because they know we are tribal as a people. In fact, Nigeria should be called United Tribe of Nigeria. We are tribal. We are tribal, and we have to divide our political line in that tribal lineage. Let us be real.
So
look at the Emirates. Look at the Emirates. They are Emirates. They're not shying away from it. They are different Emirates.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So those Emirates, were they tribal? Are they tribal?
It's because they were able to. You see, if you look at Arabs, they can be very mellow when they want to be mellow. They were able to kill the pride, we are so corrupt. The greed in our people is so corrupt. It's so much.
We would have been able to kill ours also if we were not very foolish, because the only way to kill ours is the way Rwanda killed theirs. Prior to now, Rwanda went through the largest genocide in Africa.
Oh yeah.
And how did they kill it? How did they stop it? They removed state of tribe of origin from their constitution. In Rwanda, you're not allowed to be a Hutsi or Tutsi. You're just Rwanda.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Remove state of origin from our constitution. You've solved our problems. Just remove state of origin from our constitution. You have solved our problems. Why? Because Emeka, who his father migrated to Maiduguri at a tender age, grew up in Maiduguri, was born in Maiduguri, becomes from he automatically is an indigenous of Maiduguri, of Borno State. And tomorrow, Emeka vies for governor of Borno State and becomes governor of Borno State. He wouldn't watch people of Igbo descent be maltreated in Borno State. And he wouldn't watch people he grew up, the Kanuris, be maltreated in Borno State. People will now coexist together. If state of origin is not part of our constitution, you will not see some were in Lagos tell an Igbo man to go back to his state and vote.
Okay.
An Igbo man who has lived with you, who has dined with you, who has married your daughters, who have contributed as taxes to your state.
My brother,
so tell him to go back to his state and vote.
I totally agree.
Bro, let me land. Let me speak out my mind. It's stupid for someone to tell someone who lives with him, who has been in that state, to go back to his state and vote. Same thing as if you go to the southeast, you won't see those morons see Aisha on the street and call her Boko Haram and beat her up or do whatever they want to do to her. Because this only happens because of the state of origin clause in our constitution. That clause is useless. It has not added anything to us as Nigerians. I don't know why it's still there. Okay. A man who has lived in the state for 10 years should be from that state.
Okay, can I say something now? Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you. However, the problem I am seeing is much more than just stating a state of origin. You know why I said that? You see, I agree. We need to do away with that. That is fine. But you see why that is not alone is not going to solve our problem is because I don't want us to live in a state of utopia.
Bro,
you understand? I don't want us to live in a state. Let me just finish it.
I want to talk to one way. He said, Obeni, go back to your village. Let's get this for your back. Bro, the property I get for Lagos, your grandpapa, your papa, and you don't get them joined together. You don't get
just ignore those kind of. It's just a fool, man.
Let's get this one now for you.
You see those kind of people, you just ignore them. They just try to distract you.
Can't even afford. They tell me say let's get
you see,
people.
Don't pay attention to those. Don't pay attention to those kind of people. You know they are limited in their experience. You see, one thing you have to understand is the reason why I don't want us to live in a state of utopia is I would love it if we remove the state of origin and everything is perfect. But I know it's not going to be. You know why? Your name is still not going to change from Emeka to Baba Femi just because you change your state of origin. But guess what? What we have to ensure is what has always been. Wherever you live, wherever your state of residence is, that is where you vote, that is where you eat, that is where you seek even state government employment. You understand what I'm saying? I live right now, I'm in Maryland. If I move from here now and go to California, I can still seek state employment, even in California. We just need to make sure we have watchdogs. You know what they call independent watchdogs that can be reported to, that will be comprising of all tribes, committee of all tribes, where people that have complained of, oh, I think I'm being tribally discriminated against, they can take that up. You understand what I'm saying? There are ways we can do that. However, that will not change our system of government. You know why that will not change our system of government? There are too many illiterates in our National Assembly.
And you know, too many illiterates on this that diffuses life.
Yeah, too many. You know why?
Even me, they suffer for their hand.
I'm telling you,
I think phone manufacturers need to start seeing a degree certificate before they sell phones to you. Like one,
I'm telling you,
what at this point we don't do a shower. Her mama don't do a shower for this comment section. They tell me nonsense for this comment section.
No, just ignore them. John, just ignore those guys, man.
I was past the freezer, the crease.
Just ignore them. You see, like I was saying, you see, when we go back to our founding fathers' constitution, you know why that will help? When we are in Western region, the State Assembly of the Western region, if we are communicating in English and it won't work because some villager got elected from somewhere in some village, guess what? We'll speak Yoruba. The same thing in the north. Because you see, when we don't recognize our differences, we have to take advantage of our differences in order to help ourselves. Let us go back to that constitution where everybody can independently and healthily compete. Let us make the national government small. Let us make the national government very, very small. That they are only responsible for security, national security, the military.
All of us agree that the only way Nigeria can survive is if we go back to regional system of government.
Honestly.
But however, I believe that the federal system of government is practicing a regional system of government. Through federalism, we are a federal republic only on paper.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because we are not practicing through federalism.
Mm-hmm. We're not.
If we were really a federal republic, I don't see why a governor from Benue State will say, I cannot implement minimum wage because I don't have money to pay.
I know.
And you sit down every month and wait for revenue from the crude sales in the Niger Delta to get to you to pay salaries of buffoons that you planted in your state secretariat.
And that is why we need to go back to that constitution.
Should be given the right to exist.
Thank you. That is why we need to go back to that constitution. You know why? Because that constitution gave individual region the control of their resources.
I agree with you 100%. And
that is what we need.
And see, this is where I personally fault Chukwemeko Dumogo's during the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a realist. I'm very real in my approaches. And I asked one question. Who collapsed that system of government? It was Agu Ironsi.
Yeah.
It was Agu Ironsi that talked about the unity system of government.
Yeah.
When Agu Ironsi collapsed it, Ojukwu did not complain.
Mm-hmm.
When Gowon took over and adopted what Agu Ironsi had collapsed ab initio, the unity system of government, Ojukwu now started complaining. This is the only way I thought it.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why? You see, the truth is because
the Eastern region was benefiting when
no, that it's personal, it's ego. It's personal ego. It's not because you know what? Listen to why I said it's personal ego. You see, a lot of us, until we got matured, a lot of us when we were younger, we had that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't lie to myself. We have that. Okay, when you're competing with an outside boy, you'll be like, come on, man. No, because if you defeat me for this book thing, now you say I don't stupid though. Because you think you naturally better than them. But it's wrong. It's prejudicial because there are so many of them that are way, way better than we were. You understand what I'm saying? But because Ojukwu studied overseas, Ojukwu is like, yo, who be this guy? When go come be my president? Who you be? You understand what I'm saying? Even though he was also educated, because if you look at Gowon, you can't compare Gowon even to Tinubu. The way I'm telling you, I love those leaders. Even the ones that were horrible, I love them. They were very, very educated.
When they tell me of Abacha, you see, Abacha.
I know Abacha. No, Abacha is not one of them. Abacha is the worst. He's the dumbest. Abacha is not one of them. Abacha is not one of them. Abacha is not one of them. No, Abacha can. Make you no go chop apple on top of woman. No go chop apple on top of woman. If you don't say you want to.
My godfather was head of military police during Abacha's regime.
No, that is why. That's now I see why. Now I see why.
Abacha, the great general.
For you now. Yeah, because they bring cake for your now in they bring food for you now. In they lock us up. Then they lock us up then when we they campaign against it.
Abacha is the best president Nigeria has ever had.
That is the worst. It's actually the opposite.
Abacha
is actually the opposite.
Trust
me, it's actually the opposite.
The opinion, make I end this live. Go talk about you, Baba.
Me, I don't understand what John they talk. If like say,
Uncle Abacha.
If like say John to work with Abacha. If like say that you be Peter. If like say that you be Peter will be assistant.
Nah, so now.
Suspect you now.
So back to what the role P2B played during Abacha's regime. P2B was brought in. Abacha would like working with technocrats. If Abacha feels you're smart, he'll bring you into work. Because Abacha, regardless of how you guys,
the only people that were messing with Abacha then were people who were sycophants.
No,
to be honest,
it's not true.
I'm telling you, man.
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Go and look at his ministers. Go and look at his civilian appointed ministers.
Yeah, he corrupted all of them. Brought them in and made them. You remember that? What do you call it? The CBN governor then? What's that guy's name? Tony.
Abacha. If Abacha feels there's a problem,
guy's name
with an institution, he looks for the best to run that institution. That's what he did with the Port.
And
with Peter.
Corrupt them.
Yes. Yes.
John,
and corrupt them.
John, I disagree with you. During Abacha regime, now sawdust will they take people. They will put inside Kangolo. Inside Kangolo.
Thank you.
You understand?
My mother have never
was 21. I was between 18.
Yeah.
I was done with secondary school.
Okay,
John,
we will do
you know, Sabi,
John.
The worst thing we use for our house like kerosene.
11.
The worst thing we use for our house like kerosene and say kerosene and say gas.
Is
John, you say like your papa being the head of security for Abacha now, of course.
John, you were between 7 and 11 during Abacha's tenure.
No.
You cannot compare to me that was between 16 and 21.
First of all, 11 years. No.
Baby Freeze, if I call Baby Freeze don't know what Tinubu they do. No.
Daddy Freeze.
My brother here that just joined, how old are you now?
I'm 42.
You still see the tail end.
I said Daddy Freeze, they make money, they make sawdust stove for people. So I remember.
They pack and they make hole for side. They make hole for side. When they blow the hole, they blow the hair for side.
There was fuel scarcity for 2 years.
Thank you. There was complete shutdown. Complete shutdown.
Everybody get jerry can for house.
Complete shutdown. It did like COVID. It did like the way COVID did. When nobody go nowhere.
Daddy Freeze.
It did like COVID.
Daddy Freeze.
Wow, shut down.